Each subtraction is adding the opposite. That's the basic understanding you should have when you subtract integers. Okay, so let's understand what is that. Each subtraction is adding the opposite. For example, in your lower grades you learned what is the answer for 5 minus 3. You already know the answer, but let's try to find out the answer in a different way. Okay, add the opposite. So 5, this subtraction sign, make it into an addition, but this was a positive 3, so you make it a negative 3. Now what's the answer for this one? 5 plus negative 3, this is also 2. That's why this was 2. So that one, each subtraction is same as adding the opposite, can be applied to each of the subtraction problems. That's what we are going to do. When you have a subtraction, okay, you subtract 1 minus 5, okay, so you do 1 plus negative 5, then you apply the addition rules. That's subtracting a positive number from a positive number. Now now the second one, you can think about subtracting a negative number from a positive number. There also you do the adding the opposite, 1 plus 5, and you get 6 as the answer. Now the third one is from a negative number you subtract a positive number. That's another way of thinking about subtraction. Okay, so there also you add the opposite, plus negative 5, so you apply the addition rule and you get negative 6 as the answer. And the last one, from a negative number you subtract a negative number. There also you do add the opposite, 1 plus 5, and you get here 4 as the answer, here negative 6 as the answer, here 6 as the answer, here there is negative 4 as the answer. So subtraction has 4 possibilities. First one, from a positive you subtract a positive. The second one, from a positive you subtract a negative. From a negative you subtract a positive. From a negative you subtract a negative. Okay, so everywhere you are adding the opposite, because adding the opposite is same as subtraction. Okay, so let's think about that one more time. 10 minus 8, you already know the answer, but we could also find it out like 10 plus negative 8. If you know how to add integers, you already know the answer to this one is 2. So therefore it's very easy to do that. Okay, for example, let's say 3 minus 2, so you already know the answer to be 1, but what if we do 3 plus negative 2? Here also you get the answer as 1 based on the addition rule. So every subtraction, as I said, there are 4 possibilities. Those 4 possibilities we are going to add the opposite in order to make things easy. And also you just have to think about adding integers after you rewrite to an addition problem. So every problem you have to rewrite into an addition problem. Okay, 7 minus 4, so you all know the answer to this question. It's 3 from your basic grades, but sometimes it's very difficult to do negative 7 minus 4. So what we do is, here you do 7 plus negative 4, so you got the answer as 3. So this complicated subtraction problem, we apply the same skill. Okay, negative 7 plus negative 4, so add the opposite, so you get the answer as negative 11. Now this is an area where most of the students are confused. You have to keep change that one or add the opposite. That's the way of saying it. You are going to add the opposite. The first number you keep it as it is, but the second number you give the opposite sign. Okay, for example, let's say 10 minus 5, so you already know the answer, but this also can be written as first number, keep it as it is, change the math operation into addition. Therefore you change, this was the math operation that changed, the number was actually a positive 5, so make it negative 5. So if you are able to rewrite each subtraction problem into addition problem properly, then the answer is going to be very easy. So this is also 5, this is also 5. Okay, so let's, each subtraction basically means subtract means add the opposite. Think about this in your mind, and all the possibilities of subtracting integers we could solve it very easily.